Hi, it's your Nuclear GM once again, back for more. Okay, here's what happened. Since last time, I was doing the Lost Mine of Phandelver and stuff, and now I'm doing Phandelver and Below, which I've also mixed with Dragon of Icepire Peak. So that's mixed in, and I also mixed in the Beyond Dragon of Icepire Peak, which is the sequel to that, which doesn't actually take place in Phandalin, but I was like, whatever, I'll mix it all in. I wanted to call it the Phandalin campaign now, instead of Lost Mine of Phandelver, because it's just everything that you can mix in together that involves Phandalin. You can mix it together as well, which isn't that hard. I combine modules together all the time. Not a big deal. We're going to keep playing with milestones, but the milestones are going to be a lot stiffer than normal, though I've decided already that once these dudes beat this cave, they can go up a level. So getting to level 2 will be normal, just because I'm mixing both adventures together. They're going to have to do more stuff in order to level up. That's kind of the main reason I'm doing that. But like, I'll give advice on when normal players should level up. Don't do what I'm doing, because I'm just going to do everything. But that's what I do to teach you. There was also something I forgot to do last time, which was the traps. Because there's traps along the trail to get to Cragmaw Cave. Honestly, you don't have to do these. Dangerous journey is all the stuff. Here's the artwork. Getting attacked by goblins. Oh, something else that I discovered was that the map, the original map, is different. Okay, yeah, goblin ambush. Yeah, the map's different on this one. Also, the major difference is that the horses are still alive. I think they changed that to just make this module more family friendly, so you can play with kids and stuff. I mean, you can play the other one with kids. I mean, I think most kids know what death is, but I'm sure the censors or whatever probably don't like that. Oh yeah, and they even have a path on this one. That's kind of nice, but this one, like, the major difference too is that the goblins are on the sides now, and I would say that if you do it like that, you could put them in the trees and just have them shooting at the party with their bows as they come and approach the horses and stuff. But as to why the goblins would keep those horses alive, that doesn't really make any sense to me. Anyway, now it's time to do Cragmaw Hideout with our party. Our slightly injured party. Well, the fighters are injured. Everyone else is fine. But there were these traps I didn't do. Yeah, Goblin Trail. This one you would determine the marching order, and then you do that like being like, I need to know this, need to do. But really you're a sneaky jerk who's just trying to set off these traps, because the person in front has to make a wisdom saving throw of 15 or more. Jana was the one in front. Make a perception check. 21, so she sees the trap. She's like, avoid that. And everyone avoids it. Then the pit trap happens 10 minutes later. She must succeed on yet another perception check. Yeah, having these in a row like this is a little silly. The characters, if this is their first time doing it, like, do it anyway, they'll love it. But if this is their first game, you might want to do one trap on the way there, and maybe one when they're, like, taking the trip to Phandalin. Oh, she didn't see the trap that time. So Janet makes a dexterity saving throw. It's not good for her. Oh, she got a good roll, though. And she only had 10. So she doesn't fall into the pit. Like, whoa! Caught myself. There's a pit here. Let's go around it. Anyway, so now they're here. Nothing happened. At least we got the stuff out of the way. It's a Cragmaw Hideout. The thing you should keep in mind mostly is just that it's pitch black inside the cave. Goblins can see in the dark, so they're fine with it. Wolves can't, so that's kind of weird. Anyway, they arrive on the scene. Time to read some stuff. Goblin's Trail ends at a cave at a hillside 5 miles from the scene of the ambush. A shallow stream flows from the cave mouth, which is screened by dense briar thickets. A narrow, dry path leads into the cave on the right side of the stream. These goblins are distracted. Even this one, Urk. I don't know why that one has a name. They're like talking to each other. And as long as they're not being loud, like the sounds of the stream will cover up normal talking and stuff. So they won't even hear them because they're not paying attention. They're supposed to be looking over here and watching them. But I would say unless they do something exceptionally weird. If the characters like arguing with each other or something, then that will definitely draw attention. I think he even mentions that as an example. Or start doing something really loud right over here. Then yeah, I would definitely have them notice. They like start chopping down trees. Or even if they're just in this area for an exceptionally long period of time, which can happen. It's happened once before in one of my games, where they just wouldn't move on from here because they kept wanting to do more stuff just in this little area. And if they do something in here for longer than, say, 10 minutes in game time, not real time, then definitely have them notice and start shooting at them. But otherwise, like, just make mention that, like, the only way to get into this cave is from the other side, and once they get on the other side, there's actually something to read now. So anyway, Harry will first walk in the water, and like, I need a bath, and jump in the water, but then notice it's only 2 feet deep. We just walk across, he says. And then he does, and he's like, holy dragon's eggs! or something. I don't know what they would swear like in the Forgotten Realms. And then you read, on the east side of the stream that flows from the cave mouth, a small area in the briar thickets has been hollowed out to form a lookout post. Wooden planks flatten the briars and provide room for guards to lie hidden and watch the area, including several goblins lurking there right now. Oh, it says here that they definitely heard them splash across the stream, so immediately start battle. Alright, Rick goes first. She's like, what's going on over there? So he moves forward, and he can see the goblins, but... Or can he? Maybe he can't, actually. Wish I could just see what he sees, but it looks like there's, like... Visually, it looks like you can't see him until he's over there. So I guess he attacks blindly into the woods, and they have 3/4 cover, which I think gives him a +5. So he has to 20 and disadvantage. Yeah, whatever. Rick does it anyway. He's crazy. Oh, wow. He somehow managed to do it. So he hits the goblin. This one here. 6 damage. Down to 1 HP. The arrow rips through the foliage and hits the goblin in the side. Ah, my guts! Kai's turn. I can't actually see them. But Kai could rush up to there to see them. Kai do something crazy? It says all the foliage is rough terrain, but she has just enough movement to get there. She can see them now, and she's like, ah! Didn't know there'd be people like you in here. Okay, I think she's gonna do Burning Hands. That's 15-foot cone. She only needs a 10-foot cone. She can hit all of them. She surprises the goblins, and the goblins are equally surprised by her. So cast Burning Hands. I can make dexterity saving throws. Oh, she'll only do 16. Oh, wait. No, she'll do 13 damage. Okay, we'll take half as much damage. So he'll die right away. He doesn't even have to make the save, because either way, he's gonna die. Yeah. Then this goblin needs to make it. Oh, he does make it, so he only takes half. Otherwise, he was gonna die. Half is 6, so he's almost dead. Finally, Urk, the goblin boss, does not make it, so he takes the full 13 damage. That was Kai's turn. Harry's turn. Just go right after that goblin boss with his great sword. Ah! Attack! A 21, that hits. 11 damage. He just comes up and chops his head off. Ah! Like that, Urk. Oh, he doesn't know his name. And then as a bonus action, he'll use his second wind. I forgot he had, but might as well. So it's 1d10 plus his fire level. So 6. That's Nalra's turn. Okay, so she could just, she rushes through the foliage. She can just barely make it to there, and then she'll attack the goblin. With her warhammer. No, 12, that misses. So Jan's turn. She'll also rush into the foliage, despite the half movement, and attack the goblin. The great axe. 8 damage, killing them. Goblins didn't even get a turn. Oh, we didn't alert anyone. But I assume this is the right cave. It was the same cave as the people who attacked us. Well, it's where the path leads already, Nalor says. Anyway, then they all decide to investigate the cave. And Harry will light a torch, because he can't see. Okay, so he'll just walk in recklessly. Harry seems a bit reckless. And you'll see the wolves there. Just inside the cave mouth, a few uneven stone steps ascend to a small, dank chamber on the east side of the passage. The cave narrows to a steep fissure at the far end and is filled with the stench of animals. 3 chained wolves snarl and rattle their chains as you approach the cave mouth. Each wolf's chain leads to an iron rod driven into the base of a stalagmite. Their eyes perk up when they see Harry, and he's just raised a hand. He's like, nice, doggy. So have him make an animal handling check. That's not enough, though, and they immediately rush forward to attack him, but they can only move to about 10 feet. Their chains around their neck. That's enough. Ah! Harry says. And he's like, well, there's wolves here, but I don't think they can get us if we just go past. Rick's a little reckless, so he's just like, alright, let's just go past. Walks past, ignoring the wolves entirely. They bark at him. You could have them break their chains. It even says that, talks about that here. Break through the chains, just have another battle against these wolves. I might do that in a second here. But actually, it says something about that for when fighting these goblins at H2. The ones that they killed pretty handedly. If he dies first, then one of these goblins is supposed to run and release the wolves so they join the fight. I'd almost say you could probably have one of them just run if they get a turn. I mean, they obviously did it this time, but if they get a turn, you probably just have one of the goblins like run, get the wolves. You could even just say that the boss man says something to him in Goblin, so if anyone understands Goblin, they would understand it. Like, go get those wolves. Release the hounds. Something like that. So you could have one of them at least try to go and get them right away, because otherwise they're just gonna kill him. pretty quickly. But yeah, as Harry's keeping watch, the wolves break out of their stuff. They all have to fight again. More fighting. Okay, Harry will go first as they break through and attack this one. It says he attacks with his great sword. 12, that's not enough. Janet, 20 feet to get there and attack the next one with her great axe. Also 12, okay, whatever. Wolf, the first wolf, that one will attack Harry. Biting Harry, 8, doesn't hit him. Need 14 for Harry. Next wolf will attack Janet. 14. We need 17 to hit Janet, yeah. Next Rick's turn. Dang it, we're in a tight spot. I'll jump in the water in order to shoot the first one with his short bow. Chooses an arrow. 24, that hits. 8 piercing damage. No, I should hit the sneak attack switch there. Oh well. For now, I manually add a d6 for a sneak attack. So 1 extra damage. It's still not bad. So dealing 9 damage to that one. Last wolf's turn. They can only attack Janet, so they will. 13 isn't enough. Now his turn. Go there. She'll use Sacred Flame on the injured one. Just to make a dexterity save. He does. Okay. They'll move up there, and I will. I'm gonna do Ray of Frost on the injured one. That one hits for cold damage, killing the first wolf. Okay, Harry will attack. Actually, since that one died, he's gonna run around to get here and get advantage to attack the one in the middle. 19 will hit, or 6 slashing damage. Jenna's turn, same thing. She also gets advantage with her great axe. 13 just enough to hit. 12, that will kill it. Rick. I'll come rushing into there and then shoot the last one. He misses though. Is that a critical miss? Yeah, that is a critical miss. Well, with a critical miss, I like to have people then make whatever throw, like with whatever they use. So for him to be dexterity saving throw. 24, that means, it goes by ranges of 5, 20 or above. It means that they get a glancing blow and still deal 1 damage. He still hits it though. This is the wolf's turn. He has equal chance to hit either Janet or Harry. The wolf will bite Janet. 8, missing. Useless wolves. Now on his turn, she'll go here to stand on top of this wolf and attack that wolf with her warhammer. Critical hit. 7 damage total. Not enough to kill it, so pretty good. Kai's turn. She'll move here just to be able to see the wolf and then cast Ray of Frost. Just a normal hit, 1 cold damage. Not great. Oh well. Harry's turn. He'll just hit it. When he hits it, it's probably kill it. Yep, it's dead, and they killed the wolves. Once again, without taking any damage. They're doing better than yesterday. And then they'll investigate the room. This is like, normally, I said always make them roll. You make investigation rolls or perception checks. Depending on whether you think it's more visual or if they actually have to deduce something. If they're just like, I'm just looking around, I usually just say, do a perception check. And 18, the first roll, which I didn't notice for some reason. And then you can deduce that this is a pile of garbage that seems to be coming out of this hole up here, and he could climb the pile of garbage, but it would probably take a very long time and a great deal of effort to get up there. I have had parties try to do that before, is climb up here, or I've had one party actually climb up this, then get into further in the cave this way. Start at the end in this one, but anyway, it's 30 feet up. They just have to make athletics checks to climb up and down it, but that could be a bad time. Anyway, they'll come back out. Well, at least those wolves are gone, I'll say. And goes to there, and everyone's going up the river when suddenly they hear a sound. The main passage from the cave mouth climbs steeply upward, the stream plunging and splashing down at its west side. In the shadows, a side passage leads west across the other side of the stream. In the shadows of the ceiling to the north, you can just make out the dim shape of a rope bridge crossing over the passage ahead of you. Another passage 20 feet above the floor appears to intersect this one. So Rick took the lead there, and so we'll have him make a perception check. 17. So he would see this guy as he notices a goblin run away. He's like, uh-oh. Goblin runs up to the side. It's like, he's probably going to warn people. Maybe we should hide. But it's too late. They can't hide. The passage fills from the mighty roar. The huge surge of rushing water pours from above. Just figured I might as well just do it. So what happens is, these are like big chambers of water that this goblin just warns them about, and so they immediately set off the first trap. If the characters don't stick around, which which some of them do. Like, a flood, it just flooded here. That was weird. Some will just stick around in this area, even though it just did that. And then you can do it again, because there's 2 chambers filled with water. And you should mention that when they come into this chamber, that these are no longer filled with water, pretty much. And then deduce, like, oh, this was the trap before. But sometimes they don't even figure that much out, you know, whatever. Anyway, we'll just do the first one, though. So everyone has to make a strength saving throw. It's dexterity first. Okay. Oh, she doesn't make it, so now she has to make a but she holds on. So she's fine. Everyone's fine. Like, yeah, let's get out of here. Rushes up to this area. Well, let's go through here. But then now there's a giant poison snake there. That's new. And there's also a path up this way, so they could go up that way. But honestly, I've never had a group that didn't go this way, except for that one time the groups went up this passage. Most people don't seem to even notice this passageway from what I've seen, but I guess they can go up that way, so I don't know. Anyway, Rick's gonna go up this way. It says passive perception stuff, but for the most part, I just have people roll. That makes it more interesting, I think. Okay, with an 18, he sees the giant poisonous snake. He's like, ah! And also informs them, like, oh, there's a snake here. This was not in the original thing. Seems kind of unnecessary to me, and I would actually say, if you don't want to, don't use it. But that's true for anything. You know, as a TM, if you don't want to use something, just don't use it. Doesn't feel right, don't do it. The giant poison snake wakes up and rolls. Aha. Oh wow, we're rolling horribly. Okay, well, the snake goes first. So it'll just go ahead and bite him. 22. 7 piercing plus 11 poison damage. Well, he just goes down right away. Wait, that just kills him. Yeah, that does so much damage, he kills him. This is why, like, being level 1 is so punishing. Like, Rick dies, though. Wow. Okay, this is where I would, like, definitely cheat for the players a little bit. I'd probably give them, like, half damage in total or something. Be like, well, it only takes, that'd be what, 3 and 5, 8. Like I said, being level 1 is just really punishing. And then the reason he dies, just as if you didn't know, is because he's taken 18 damage total. If you reach the negative of whatever your positive maximum number is, that will kill you. And it just barely kills him, basically. I'm trying to, like, rationalize the reason to keep him alive, but no, he's dead. Crazy that happened so early. Is that why they had the giant poisonous snakes, so you get a character killed right away? And there to ambush you. His last words as he dies is, "Snake!" Him shouting that would alert the people in here, but they don't leave yet. Rick, no! They all shout in unison. Rick died. Oh well. Anyway, that was the giant poisonous snake's turn. Nalra's turn. She's like, Rick, no! She comes up and sees if there's anything she can do. But she can't bring people back from the dead. So with tears running down her face, she runs up to there and casts Guiding Bolt on the snake. 12, is that enough? No. Wasting her spell slot. Harry's turn. He's like, I'll avenge you, Rick. He runs forward and attacks the snake with his greatsword. 15 hits for 9 slashing damage. The snake is still alive, however. Kai's turn. Kai goes there so she can see the snake. She's the one without spell slots, so she'll just cast Ray of Frost for 5 damage, killing the snake that killed their friend. Oh, Rick, they say, all of them crying. Tears just won't stop coming. Honestly, they probably do need, like, a 5th character. Oh, every time I'm not sure if I should keep going. I should stop there for now and make a new character. Well, if this were 5 actual people, I wouldn't actually allow anyone to die. I might allow them to be knocked unconscious, but that would be assuming that the other people will raise them, though. I had a game the other day where somebody was, like, unconscious for several rounds until I said, like, I don't know why no one's raised you yet. Or something. I forget what I said, but it was just, I don't know, just funny, because it was like, he already made his 2nd death saving throw and failed. And I was just like, yeah, I don't know why you're still dead, considering everyone else is still up. And then everyone was like, oh yeah, we could raise him. He doesn't have to keep doing this. It's just funny. But if I did allow, if we were making like a more meat grindery campaign, which I mean this one is for sure, I would probably like let people leave, rest, recuperate, whatever, and have the 5th person roll up a new character. And just looking at the encounters and stuff coming up, like this encounter is actually wrong because it says in the book there should be 2 of these guys. Like, this is a level 1 dungeon? It seems a lot harder than before, just with all these extra things. A giant poisonous snake and everything. Like, yeah, I don't know why they decided to up the difficulty, but they really did. So I think I do need a 5th person. I think I'm going to go and make them. And maybe they'll decide, like, we need to go to town and come back, I think. because we both need a new companion, a new rogue, or something like a rogue. Maybe something a little hardier than a rogue. And rest, and we'll come back and try to figure out who killed those horses and who has Sildur and Gundren. Horse is definitely tied in this one. Alright, so they'll take Rick's body and leave to get another companion. I think this should be like a 5-person team. Maybe they'll just go and rest for now. Get another companion right now. But they'll take a long rest in the woods nearby, which maybe the goblins are coming to look for them. So I'll have one of them. Well, I'll make them have a Harry roll for survival. See how well they can make a campsite. He gets their helping, so he gets a bonus of 13, passable campsite. And I rolled for 18 or higher, and they'll... Ooh, 19, so they get interrupted in the night by goblins. We'll roll d4, decide whose watch this was on. Who's on Janet's watch? Does Janet notice them before they sneak attack? Can she wake everyone up? Sound the alarm? Oh yeah, so they're all ready. The goblins attack. Let's say it's D6 worth of goblins. 2 goblins. Oh, can still hurt them. The rule is when you get interrupted like this, they're all awake and stuff, but one goblin is trying to attack Janet, and the other attacks Nalra in her tent, or whatever. Well, they get consistently bad initiative rolls, this team, except Kai that time. Oh, Kai would go ahead of that goblin at least. Okay, so the first goblin goes attacking Nalra, the scimitar. 13, not enough. Kai's turn. Well, she still doesn't have any spell slots, so she can only do Cone of Cold, pretty much, or whatever it's called. Ray of Frost, I mean. Oh, critical hit though. That will kill the goblin. Next goblin, oh, that's the dead one. And Nalra will... she'll do inflict wound. 16, that hits it. 14 necrotic damage, so dead. So that was easy. Everyone goes back to sleep. I guess they could still... Nope, goblins don't find him again that night. And so everyone gets a long rest. Alright, thanks for watching. Next time I'll have a new character.